Now, I just want to do this because I think Jamie Googan is an inspiration, but its column is across this one. Now, I know I have the audio piece here, right? But I just need a little bit of direction with regards to the audio piece. Is this the whole piece that you played for me?
It is, actually. I think it gives a good synopsis of the story, yeah.
So there are the silent bits as well?
There are.
Okay. So Jamie has struggled with a stutter and a stammer all his life, right?
It was absolutely crippling, yeah.
So he actually, from what you showed me, he could not communicate at all.
Well, our listeners will hear it as well, yeah. I mean, he couldn't answer the question he was being asked.
Okay, and he's a Cork lad, is he?
He is indeed.
Is he a student in CIT?
He is, okay. And he's now working in CIT as well at a programme they have there called Access, so yeah.
Okay, so what are we going to hear? And where was it taken and why?
It's taken back, the video, I'm not sure when it was recorded, but I know that it was 2012 when Jamie first looked for help on this with a thing called the Maguire programme.
That's right.
Back in August 2012. So I'm not sure when the update was, but I mean, certainly it was months or
so they sat him down before the start of the programme and they just kind of got a scene set as to where he was at with the stutter and the stammer.
And they videoed it, yeah.
Okay, so we can show you the video if you want to go to my
That'll
Twitter.
Be online, yeah.
Yeah, have a look at it on the line. But have a listen to this in the meantime.
Jamie Googan is my name, and I am proud to say that I am a person who is challenged by a stammer. Stammering affects only 1% of the world's population, and this is my first day video when I joined the Maguire programme in August 2012.
How are you?
Howdy.
May I have your name, your address, and your telephone number, please?
Jamie Googan.
I want you to read the first 4 lines at the top of that page for me, please.
Okay. It has been with a lot of hard work and dedication, and a big thank you to the Maguire programme, Real World Combat and Fitness, my family, and CIT's Access Service. Within 3 months, I was able to do this. Jamie Googan is my name, and I am proud to say that I am a person who is challenged by stammering. For 20 years, stammering has destroyed my life. And over the last 3 months, I can show who I really am and be myself and be comfortable with speaking in these situations. I just want to say thank you to everyone who has helped me on my path to becoming who I am and what I am showing here today. And that I am in control of my speech. And it has changed my life forever. So, thank you. I know firsthand from growing up as a person who is challenged by a stammer, it is not easy, always feeling alone and isolated. But with the right support network, you too can make that positive change.
Jamie Googan, good morning.
Hi Neil, how are you?
In a word, wow.
Thank you.
That is just astonishing.
Thank you.
That 4 years ago, somewhere in between, you could not communicate at all.
No, it was extremely difficult to communicate in certain situations.
Do you find this situation a stressful one for you?
No, because I have to challenge myself in various situations so that I can become better at speaking.
Yeah. Why is it that I feel very delicate for you right now, you know, and I even notice that I'm speaking slower, I'm more pronounced. Is that the way people react to people who stutter and stammer, that they're very conscious of your problem?
Some people are, and, you know, some people aren't. It just depends on the person.
Yeah. Yeah, I suppose really what it is I'm just conscious that I don't want you to start stuttering or stammering. Does that make you more aware of it then?
From being in the Maguire program, I have been trained to rebreathe using a new term called coastal breathing. So I am able to push through the words. So if I do happen to stutter, it's okay.
Okay, good man yourself. I'm glad to hear that, because I don't want to put you under any pressure in an on-air situation. So it's a breathing technique, is it?
Yes. So the Maguire program is a 4-day intensive program, and they deal with the mental and physical aspects of stammering. So you learn a new technique called coastal breathing, and that is what they use for individuals to make the words and sounds.
How old were you when you started back in 2012?
I was 20.
So, for the 20 previous years, you found communicating with people nigh on impossible, did you?
In some situations, yes. I found myself introducing myself using my older brother's name most of the time because I could never say my own name.
What's your brother's name?
Ross. So if he is listening, sorry, Ross.
Sorry for stealing your identity, bro. So you used the name Ross because your own name, Jamie, was just too tough to get over the J.
I couldn't say it. I couldn't say where I was from. I couldn't say my own phone number.
And why was that? I mean, what is this condition that it can be so crippling to people? Where does it come from?
It could come from anywhere. For me, I fell at the age of 5 and I hit my head. And from that moment onwards, I had a stammer.
What kind of reaction did you get from people through your young life and even into your teens, you know, when you would try and communicate, even to do the simple things in public, like buying something in a shop or making a phone call or inquiring about something? How difficult was that? How did people react to you?
Some individuals were absolutely fantastic that just allowed me to take my time and just get out what I wanted to say. And then others would just simply laugh in your face or just look at you like you're a freak.
Did you get bullied because of it in school?
I was never bullied because of it, but, you know, some people just did have the one or two smart comments, but that's okay too.
Yeah. Colin was telling me that you would get grief and harassment from people like, say, some taxi drivers or shop assistants when you're trying to buy stuff. Is it like, oh, for God's sake, you're driving me crazy. Will you move on or get it out? What are you trying to say? Yeah.
So I remember back in first year, and I called 4 taxi drivers, and they all hung up the phone because I couldn't tell them where I was.
What do you think was going through their mind? Guys drunk, acting the fool?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, not realizing that you
different for us.
Yeah, that you had a crippling stammer.
Yeah.
Did you
Yeah,
you couldn't get it. Did your parents find it very upsetting? Never mind what you were to go through, but them having to watch you going through it.
I had 2 fantastic parents that were constantly fighting for my support and speech therapy, and they were always on the phone trying to get me every support possible. And they really encouraged me to join the Maguire program, although it took me 4 years to get on it because I couldn't accept it, that I had a problem.
Why couldn't you? It was very evident that you did. Why couldn't you see it?
Because I did not want to accept myself that I might have a disfluency or a disability with my speech.
But it was very evident, Jamie.
It is evident. It's just, it is just trying to accept reality and trying to ask out for help. I think that it is the biggest challenge for us.
I understand exactly. It could be anybody with any kind of an issue. The reaching out and acting on it and asking for help, it's like a surrender, and you didn't wish to surrender.
No. I thought that I would have been okay going through it, but it came to a stage where I knew I just had to ask for help.
This was at the age of 20, so you were just in college at this stage, I'm sure. But,
yes.
With the years from, say, 16 onwards or 15 onwards, did you find yourself socially awkward? Did you find yourself turning into a bit of a loner, not wishing to socialise? Was that the issue?
No, that was not the issue at all, because around my close friends and family, I was fine, and I would only get caught on a few words. And I had some fantastic individuals that really supported me through school. It was just inside classroom environments when you are really put on the spot. It is when the real stammer comes out, because you can't hide it no more when you're put on the spot.
Yeah. And that's why when we hear the audio here a while ago and people can look at the video, you were being put on the spot with the camera in front of you and you just shut down completely.
Absolutely shut down, yeah.
Just as a...
seconds to get out my name.
It took how long?
90 seconds to even say my own name, and that's a very long time.
Did it depress you? Did it get you down? Did you have negative thoughts because of it? I
did at some points where I would, especially after bad situations, you will have all of the shame and guilt and embarrassment because of your problem. And you would go through all of these different emotions as well as anxiety.
It was a heavy cross for you to bear, my friend. Where are you from?
I am originally from Clonakilty, but I now live inside Bishopstown for my work with CIT's Access Service.
Right. Did you qualify out of CIT? You went through the program there?
Yep. I qualified last year with a honours bachelor's degree in sport and exercise.
And the part of the video and the audio has you talking to students, is it from a stage?
The stage was in Galway as part of the Maguire program. We all have to do a soapbox, so we must give a small presentation to the audience.
You are an inspiration. You really and truly are an inspiration. It's hard enough talking on radio, but under the conditions that you're doing it, I think you've come so far. What's your message this morning then, say, for people who have whatever level of debilitation that they have? In your case, it was chronic, or indeed to parents who are listening.
I would advise them to go out and start looking at the supports that are out there and use the backup support networks. And it is very important to realize is that once you believe in yourself and you're willing to put in the work, you can make that fantastic change no matter what challenges you are faced with.
Because it would have held you back in your life if you hadn't got this monkey off your back, wouldn't it? You'd have had an extra burden to carry. It just would have been dreadful for you. You need to get on the Late Late Show. I really believe that your story needs to be nationalised and internationalised. Wouldn't you agree?
The Late Late Show is one of my goals, and I would like to go on it so that I might be able to help someone that is listening.
Would you mind if I send them on your information? and send them the link to your video, and maybe get a researcher or a producer to give you a call.
Sure, that is no problem at all.
It's great talking to you because it's such a great story, but you're very measured in your responses. I'd say it's an amazing program to be able to come so far in a weekend of intense work, yeah?
It is a fantastic program, and what is so good about it is that once you grow up as a person who is challenged by a stammer, throughout your life you probably will not meet anyone else. So you will always feel alone and isolated in some parts. But once you go and join these programs, you meet hundreds of other people that are on the same path.
So you're telling me that in those 20 years, you never came up against or tried to have a conversation with a fellow stammerer?
No, never once, because I never met anyone else.
Okay. What section?
Program.
Yeah. What section of the population do you think suffer from this debilitation?
So they say that 1% of the world's population will suffer from a stammer, and some of them will just grow out of it over time, and others won't.
Yeah, and also it's important to say that the vast majority of people, me included, if we are in a situation where we're talking to somebody with a stammer or a stutter, and I talk to so many people in my life, I only wish them well. I want them to say the words. I will them to say the words, you know. So people who are listening now should understand that and realize that the vast majority of people are good people and they're on their side. There will be the minority who you got grief from, but you know that's not by and large how people react to people with a stammer or a stutter.
No.
Is there an expense in this Maguire program? Is there a cost?
So to join the Maguire program, it is €1,200.
Does the state pick that up at all or give a portion of the cost?
No, unfortunately you have to pay it yourself, but once you join, you are joined for life, you know? And you have access to all of the backup support networks.
Where does it happen?
So it happens 3 times every year in Dublin, Galway or Belfast. And
are there details that people can check out, like a website?
Yep, they can go on to www.maguireprogram.com.
Simple enough then, maguireprogram.com. Next time that people hear from you, I hope and believe it will be on the Late Late Show as you share your inspirational story. It is super stuff, and I'm all the better for talking to you, Jamie Googan. And regards to you and all of your family, because family is important.
Yes, yes.
Thanks for taking my call.
Thank you very much, Neil.
Cheers.
Bye.
He's an amazing guy. He's just an amazing guy. What a great conversation. Oh, man, that's terrific. MaguireProgram.com. I mean, it's just all about comparing the before and the after. And that happened in the course of an intensive weekend. And boy, how it's turned his life around. Inspirational. What would he be now? 24, maybe going on 25 with the rest of his life ahead of him.
The Neil Prendeville Show. With Nissan. The Nissan Qashqai. Class-leading resale value means you'll never look back. Red FM.